Capricorn, welcome to the Tarot Room. My name is Robyn. And Capricorn, today, let's do your general energy check-in. Let's check in on you, Cappy. Let's see what's going on, what's been going on. Let's see how it's going to play out. What are we talking about today? Spirit guides, what's up? We have Here and Now, the card of Lao Tse. This is all about living in the present. When we live in the past, we're depressed. When we live in the future, we're anxious. Live in the present, it's a gift, but that's also when doors are opened and realizations can be had. So they really want you to live in the present moments here. Where's the emphasis? Chiron, your healing power, empathy, and ability to teach or to learn remedies. It's very healing energy. So if you're facing, like a disease or a healing thing, don't forget to live in the present and seek, your methods of healing. Your body is designed to heal. I feel like herbs, with the remedies, I feel like herbal remedies. I don't know why. So if you're facing those challenges, don't forget to check out herbal remedies. That's a message for you. But that's specific. Let's get into the reading. Let's see what this energy is, Capricorn. Let's see what's going on. The Hierophant. Okay, Hierophant and the Knight of Wands. Aries, Leo, Sag energy, Taurus energy. We have a few people here. The King of Swords, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius energy. Everybody is facing this direction. So everyone's like, you ever see that video where the dog's chasing the ball and all the cows are like watching the dog chase the balls? It's like I see all these heads, you're watching the tennis game and all the heads are going back and forth. Whoa. And then there's the Two of Cups in reverse. You're going back and forth on something here. Okay. There's the Eight of Pentacles and the Two of Pentacles. And on the bottom, we have the Eight of Wands. Okay, what's Knight of Swords? There's a lot of forward movement. There's like a rushing energy, but it's like I feel like they don't want you to rush. You're Capricorn, so I feel like maybe something's rushing in or moving really fast. Let's see. What's the Hierophant energy? How are we starting this reading? What are we talking about? What's the Hierophant here? We have the Eight of Cups, the Wheel of Fortunes in reverse, and the Three of Wands with the Hierophant. So there's a spiritual lesson at play, Capricorn. Yeah, the Eight of Swords and Judgment. There's walking away from thinking of bad luck, walking away from thinking things don't go your way, walking away from thinking things don't work out. There's a principle of mentalism here, and there's a back and forth energy and an inconsistent energy here, and it's creating challenges. There's what you want. There's your fresh start. There's you as the Empress. So it's looking back at these challenges, these barriers, and knowing that they transformed you instead of knowing that they held you back. So there's a shift in perspective that they want you to see here. There's someone out there who you feel like you have bad luck, things don't go your way, things aren't happening the way you want them to happen. And they want you to see that that was the past. Now we're in the present and you're looking towards your future, and that's not your future unless you make it your future. Okay, so what's the Knight of Wands here then for Capricorn? Like for some of you, I feel like you're having health problems. I keep getting that feeling. The Knight of Wands, the Ace of Pentacles. Just remember your body was designed to heal. You just got to know it. The Ace of Pentacles and the Death. And I also feel like there's like two different like messages coming through for two different groups of Capricorns, because then there it is again. I feel like there's a group of Capricorns. It's like it's like if your health is the challenge, you feel like you're never going to be healthy. You have fibromyalgia, you're always in pain, nothing's ever working out, you're always in, you're just never feeling good. And then for some of you, it's like I just feel like you feel like nothing's going your way, things don't go your way. You never get where you want to go, you never get what you want. There's just disappointment after barrier after barrier, and it's like you feel like you're being blocked here. Like there's like you're trying to push forward and there's this glass wall there, and the universe is saying you're not allowed to go that way, Capricorn. And so you're frustrated, and I feel a very frustrated energy here. So what's the King of Swords then for Capricorn? What's the King of Swords? Ten of Swords. The Seven of Wands. It's just a reminder again. There's Judgment in the Page of Swords. So when we look at the Ten of Swords, the swords are no longer in this man's back. And when we look at the King of Swords, he's not hostile, he's not mad, he's bowing down, he's on bended knee, his sword is down. So there's an element of, yes, there clearly have been delays or challenges and barriers that have been difficult for you to deal with, but the point of this reading is to remind you that that's the past. It doesn't need to be your future. You have to change that perspective in your mind to create a different future, because those experiences are allowing you to think that's all you're going to get, or that's all that's going to happen. And the point of this reading is to surrender to the past. You can't change it, but you can change your future, because your future's not set in stone, and it's going to be based on the decisions that you make. And they want you to make the decision, right? Make the decision. And there's a Seven of Wands, to learn from that, to use those disappointments as motivation. Okay, so I was sick for 6 months, and you know what? I have celiac disease. That sucks, but now I can't eat gluten. If I stop eating gluten, I'm not going to feel shitty anymore, So it's finding the solution and focusing on changing that going forward. But why is the Two of Cups is in reverse? What's out of harmony? What's out of... The Empress. She's in reverse. Ooh, Capricorn. The feminine energy is a little out of... So this tells me that there's a very strong masculine energy, and they want you to balance it out and bring that feminine up. The Two of Cups in here is representing an imbalance in your energies. And like I said, in this reading, in this case, there's too much masculine, and they want you to balance out the feminine energy. She's in reverse, and that's part of the challenge here. So there could be a very strong rigid thinking or resistance, or an element where you want to try and control. When things don't go your way, it's normal to get rigid and to want to control. And they just kind of want to bring that back into balance, because the Empress in particular is all about letting go of control. That's why she's so successful in the material realm. There's ups, there's downs, there's things you can't control, things you can't change, things you can't do anything about. And when we spend all of our time or energy, just any energy, focusing on those, it's energy and time we're not spending on focusing on solutions, right? We're focusing on things we can't control instead of things we can. So they want you to work on that. That's what I see here, is they want you to work on that and staying balanced during the turbulent times. And with the Two of Pentacles, knowing that your ships are going to come in, you're going to get there, but there's going to be challenges, barriers, tests, initiations. And I see it in the comments a lot, not just for Capricorn or on my channel, just in general. I watch tarot, and I see a lot of people say, yeah, the tests never end. No, they don't. Once you pass this test, then there's going to be different challenges and different tests coming at you. That's what life is. If life is flat, then you're not going to be really living life and learning and growing and evolving. And those are the teachings of Carl Jung. But if you're learning from your tests, then you're getting better at dealing with them. You're getting more confident in yourself. You're learning about yourself. You can start to see the patterns and the things of that energy and that nature. And that's really where they want you to focus here, instead of focusing on the tests and giving your power away to what it is you can't change or control. What is this fast-moving energy? Because we had this Knight of Swords and this Eight of Wands. What is this fast-moving energy here? What is this rushed energy? The Five of Wands, the Queen of Wands, the Star. It's like you just want to... But there's the Two of Cups. And the Knight, there's the Emperor. So it's like a weird message. I hope this makes sense. It's like, okay, let's just say you're sick, you got the flu, you just want it to end tomorrow, but you don't want to eat garlic or, ginger to make yourself feel better, or you don't want to give your body the time to heal. And it's like you're rushing through that. If you're sick, your body needs to fast. You need to get rid of the disease. You need to get rid of the parasites, whatever the virus is, whatever the acidic energy. Like, you got to adjust to that virus so your body can heal itself to move forward, but you can't rush the healing process. You can ignore that, right? It's like you got celiac, you're eating gluten, you keep getting sick. Well, you can't just rush through that and ignore that. You got to cut out the gluten. They don't want you to rush through it. They want you to take the time to go through it and find those solutions, which is strange because it's not a Capricorn message, but it's like you want to ignore the problem or overlook the problem or not change and not have the problem be there, right? You don't want to stop eating gluten, but you want to be sick. You can't control your body doesn't like gluten. It's out of your control. You can't change it. You got to accept it and stop eating gluten, right? And then there you are. And that's the energy here, is to create that balance. And I do feel there's a slight sacrifice that you need to make, And it's not rushing. It's really taking the time to deal with it, right? You're writing your essay, you're proofreading it. Well, don't rush the proofreading process, right? Take the time to look at every sentence, every period, every comma, and make sure there's not something that you're missing, because they don't want you to rush that, because there's something that would get missed, right? You'll eat that cracker that has gluten, and then you're going to be sick again, and you're going to kind of experience that. Okay. Oh, that makes sense. That's what I got, Capricorn. Is there anything else you want to say to Capricorn here about this? Yeah, there it is. There's things you can't control, and there's just nothing you can do about that. Don't let it keep you down. Don't let it hold you back. Just continue to truck forward and know that, with each challenge you learn more and you get better at dealing with those problems. That's what I have. Okay, so let's grab some oracles. Let's see what they want to say, and we'll jump back into the tarot. We'll do a potential outcome, and we'll see where you are at the beginning. We'll go beginning mid-November, and we'll see how you're doing, how things are playing out. Because look at this. You know what they want you to surrender to, Capricorn? Miracles. That's what's up. So be open to miracles occurring in your life. Feel and know that these events are real, and to let go of any resistance and banish any doubt that miracles can happen, because it can. You can get what you want. You can change your luck. You can change your stars. You just have to believe it. Okay. And that's a spirit animal message. Crow, the transition. So, which part of your life is or may be going through a transition? Maybe you're changing relationships, careers, or cities. But whatever it is, the crow is signaling that you are ready to make the change. And we have the kangaroo. We have a 9-month cycle going into play here. A 9-month cycle is at play, and your current project will take 9 months to mature and benefit you. So commit fully. You have all the strength and stamina you need as long as you move forward and not backwards. So don't let those past, if you have a 2-step forward, 1 day back, if you fall on track, if you relapse, that's okay. Just forgive yourself, just acknowledge it, and continue to truck forward. All right, Cappy, let's do it. Let's get down to it. Let's get your potential outcome. Now, when I say potential, there's always free will. You're going to make the decisions you're going to make. And when I say outcome, let's see where you are at the beginning, middle of November. Let's see how things are playing out, how you're doing, how you're feeling. Check in on the energy. Where's Capricorn? Let me roll my chair in. I rolled backwards somehow. I got no cards. All right, where's Capricorn here in a month? Talk to us, baby. Talk to us. What do we have for Capricorn? We have the 9 of Cups, the 9 of Pentacles, and the 3 of Swords is anchoring this. Well, that's like a very interesting energy. Okay. We have the Ace of Pentacles is in reverse, and the Page of Pentacles in reverse. There's a lesson here. There's the Queen of Swords. When to let go. 3 of Pentacles is in reverse. 8 of Wands is in reverse. When to let go. Let's talk about this, because we have the 9 of Pentacles and the 9 of Cups. It's like, you're good. You're independent. You're learning. Everything's great. Things are going your way. Life is grand. Everything's grand in Capricorn land. And then the storm hits and something happens. And it knocks you off kilter. You fall into old patterns, old habits, old ways of doing things here. And that's okay. That might be why I said that before. The key is, let's say you're trying to lose weight. You fall off track on your weekend. You have Tostitos, popcorn, chocolate, chips. Just get back off on the horse. You fell off the bandwagon. Just get back on the bandwagon. Don't get down on yourself. Don't take too hard on yourself. Don't be so hard on yourself, and know that it takes time to change habits, patterns, ways of thinking. It doesn't happen overnight, Capricorn. Habits take 28 days to develop, right? That's what I see here. I see you moving forward. You're good. You're loving yourself. You're feeling good. But then, like I said, the storm happens. Something happens that doesn't go the way you wanted, or a challenge, barrier, something you can't control, right? You're walking down the street. You get splashed by a bunch of mud. And they want you to remember that it takes time to build those. Just have patience with yourself. So what I see is you getting down on yourself and being really hard on yourself. And they want you to just let that go. Like I've already given you an example. You're a smoker, you break down, you have a really crappy day, things went awful at work, this is a shitty day, you have some cigarettes. That's okay. The next morning, it's a fresh day, it's a new you. Just let it go and continue to move forward. So if you slip up, if you fall into old habits and patterns, that's okay. Just forgive yourself and move forward. That's the message here, Capricorn. That's what I got. Because what I see is a lot of potential. But all of that potential is going to depend on the stability you have within yourself. But you also have to be able to forgive yourself because you're not perfect and you're not going to be perfect all the time. That's what I have, Cap, and that's what your guides want to say today. So I do hope you enjoyed your reading. I do hope it resonated and benefited you. And as always, if you like your reading and if you like my style, I do ask that you like, comment, subscribe. It does help my channel to grow. So thank you, Capricorn. I always appreciate your support. And let's close your reading off today with your final message, baby. Spirit guides, what's the final message for Capricorn? Remember always that you have not only the right to be an individual, but an obligation to be one as well. Set a small goal for your day. That's what I have, Cappe. Truly wish you the best of luck. Until next time.